Hello and welcome. Today I'm doing a little bit of Copic coloring. I'm working with this really cute stamp by Colorado Craft and Company. I had a request to do a coffee card, so I was going through my stamps and I found this image and I thought this would be really fun to color up. And well, let's get to it. So we have two little mice here who are making some coffee. And I want my mice to look different but the same. And I also want them to be brown but not the same brown as the coffee. So the first set of markers I pulled out are E55, E53, E51, and E50. And I decided that this first mouse is going to be a little darker than his little friend that's holding them up. So I'm starting off with my E55 and just a little bit adding a little bit to the back, and I'm going to use E53 to push that color into the center of this mouse. And I'm doing this really simple. I'm not trying to do anything extraordinary with these guys here. And I'll be real honest, I'm not super happy with my blending here, so I'm going to go back through my colors again. But if you've ever worked with these shades of brown, they do have a little bit of a green undertone. And so what I've learned is that you don't want to go through your colors too many times, because then the green really comes out. But if you just go through it once, they do look more brown. If you're doing, all the browns have a little bit of an undertone to them. They're kind of unique that way. The other colors do not. All right, much happier with the blending this time. But I did really forget to do his arms, so I'm going to have to go back in here and do his arms and tail. And this image is really simple, so I want to keep my coloring pretty simple on this. I want the focus to be on the joke of the card here. Just using my E50 to blend that out a little bit more. So this time I'm going to take E55 out of the mix, so this mouse down here will be a little lighter, but it's the same idea here. So I'm going to start with my E53. Just so they look like they're the same but not the same, if that makes any sense. Same but different. But I love the simplicity of this image. Okay, very cute. I'm just going to come back in here and do his tail. And I'm going to grab a red. I think I'm going to grab R20. And just inside the ears, I'm going to add a little bit of pink. Let's see, I think it would be great in here. I'm also going to take my R20 and just make their noses pink, because I don't know, that just seems like that would be cute. And then I pulled out some B's, B18, B16, B14, and B12. And I'm going to color this coffee pot. These blues are a little harder to blend than some of the other colors, but I love this shade of blue. And one of the reasons I chose blue is because blue and brown go really well together. I love how they play off of each other. All right, and the last piece of this to do is the handle of this coffee pot. Actually, I don't know if there's a special name. Is there a special name for this kind of coffee pot? I am not a coffee drinker. I'm not even sure I know how to make coffee, to be real honest. But I live in a house with probably one of the most serious coffee drinkers there is. There's nothing, he doesn't do anything before coffee. And I've learned to stay out of his way until he's had his coffee because he's kind of grouchy. So, and he would never trust me to make it because it has to be just so. So I never make coffee. I never even buy the coffee. I'm not even allowed to buy it because I may not do it right. So, that's fine with me because I have no interest in coffee whatsoever. So, but I get a lot of requests for coffee cards. So I pulled out my E29, 27, 25, and 23, and just continuing on with this. And that, in my imagination, coffee is a really, really nice, like, chocolatey brown. This is the same colors I use for chocolate. At least here, I would think it wouldn't have cream in it yet. So, are you a coffee drinkers? Are you guys not coffee drinkers? What are your feelings on it? We should take a survey and see. I think there's a lot of non-closet coffee, non-coffee drinkers out there. They say that, right? A lot of non-coffee drinkers. They're just afraid because we live in this world of... And I decided to do this part here a lighter shade because it's moving and I just wanted it to look different than... I think this spins around, right? So I wanted it to look a little different, give it some movement there. I think I'm going to go a little bit darker here, give it some depth. And then go back in with E23. But what I love about this image is it's so easy to color. And it's great because I can make these cards whenever I need them pretty quickly. Want to go over this again with my lightest. Just trying to blend this out a little bit more. Wanting this to be a nice smooth blend. So I think that looks pretty good. So we have one more thing here to do. That is to ground our pot. So, because I feel like it looks like it's just floating, and I think this is going to make a huge difference. So I'm taking my W5, and where I imagine it's the darkest, I put a little bit of W5. And then I use my W3 to really blend that out. And then my W1 to blend that out. And this way now our pot looks grounded. And I chose my W's because the W's have a brown undertone. And because we're using so many browns in here, I'm even use my one to color in whatever that little pipey thing does, the stirrer thing. And there we go. And I already stamped this, but my sentiment is from Riley and Company in their Funny Bone series. It says, I ran out of coffee this morning. And then on the inside of the card, it says, tequila seemed like a reasonable replacement. Everyone is so pretty today. And I used another image from the stamp set on the inside of the card. And I'm going to choose not to color this because I want to keep this super simple. And now I'm going to take a white gel pen and just add a little bit of detail to this image. Let's see, I'm thinking about kind of trying to make that look rounded. Imagine this would look rounded. I'm going to put a little bit of, sometimes I can't clean up stuff with a blender pen, but I was able to clean that up a little bit with the white gel pen. And I feel like down here there would be a little highlight. I don't know if the mice need highlights. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think that makes this all look like the pot might be shiny, has a little bit of highlight to it. And for the card, here's what I planned. I think what I'm going to do is tear this. I know I don't tear as much as I used to, but I'm going to tear today. I used to tear on my cards all the time. But the trick is to put your thumb here and keep sliding that along and tear towards you. So this is going to go in my recycling bin. And I already have a piece of brown as espresso cardstock here. And I'm going to tear this as well. And I'm just kind of leaving my white there as kind of a guide so they go together. Not perfectly, but a little bit. We can glue that together. And I am purposely matting this to the side. This is something I don't do very often, but I've been trying to find, I don't know, I'm kind of tired of the same old card layout, so I've been looking around for different ways to put cards together and have them feel, I don't know, different. So instead of everything being centered all the time, this is my solution. And I have a piece of twine, kind of freshen up the look of cards a bit. Now, if you wanted a more masculine card, maybe just tie this in a knot or leave the twine off. I do think the bow makes it feel a little more feminine, but I do like the way, I just need some sort of dimension or texture or something. I don't know, let me know. Do you think that makes it feel feminine or masculine or... And now I'm going to attach this to a piece of craft cardstock. Again, off center. Take my glaze pen and darken up the eyes on these mice. But I think that helps bring attention and makes them feel more lifelike. So I like that little the glaze pen. But anyway, here's my card for the day. Something very simple. I love the sentiment. This is a fairly new one from Riley and Company. And this is Colorado Craft. I'll link everything down below for you. But I just, quick coloring, try to color something every day. And here's today's little creation. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you do something crafty.